Welcome to Big B Daily. No frauds allowed.
What is up, people? What's going on, man? Welcome back to Big B Daily Show. Again, this is your boy, Big B. We are on Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Central Time. Come and check us out. We are live on TikTok, live on YouTube. What is going on, people? What is going on? So, as always, man, please, if you're on TikTok, keep tapping the screen. We're going to bump it up to 6,000 likes. We're over 3,000 already. So keep tapping. We need at least 30 new follows. We got a little ways to go there. We need about 28 more. So if you're in here, please give me a follow. Other than that, man, let's get on with the show. I appreciate everybody in here. If you're on YouTube, please give us a subscribe over on YouTube and join the chat, man. Do the same if you're on TikTok. Click that little YouTube link in my bio and come on over. Come on over. So let's get it started. So first things first, in-season tournament. The in-season tournament. Let's talk about it. The NBA basketball tournament. It's starting to heat up. I don't know if y'all are paying attention or not, but it is actually starting to heat up. It seems like the competition level and the engagement of the players is going wild. And I, for one, like it. I like it. NBA may have found something here. You know, because most people, myself included, I don't pay attention to the NBA until, midway or after Christmas. Damn near February. So, don't even pay attention. But with this in-season tournament, I mean, I found myself watching NBA basketball all night last night. Had a good time. I mean, it was good. That Lakers game was crazy. I can't believe at the end of that game, I'm like, wow, how do you give a timeout to the Lakers when Austin Reeves literally has lost the basketball? So that's nuts. That's absolutely nuts. But it is what it is. But yeah, I think this in-season tournament, I think we found something. So, classic LaDrama. What does LeBron have to do with it? See, it's just the dumb hate of LeBron. LeBron wasn't even involved in the play. He didn't lose the ball. He didn't throw the ball away. He didn't foul or get fouled. It didn't have anything to do with him. All he did was call the timeout, and they gave it to him. That's his fault? My God. It's amazing to me, and I'm going to say this with about as classy as I can get it. It's amazing to me how stupid people are when it comes to LeBron James, that you won't just recognize that he is one of the greatest basketball players to ever walk the face of the earth. It's just, even if you don't think he's the best, you don't have to think that he's the best. I'm not sure that I think that he's the best. But I know that he's one of them. And you can think that he is, but don't give me that, well, he's a flopper. Guys have been flopping in the NBA forever. Oh, well, he's a drama queen. Was there a bigger drama queen than Tim Duncan? Than Magic? My God. Like I said, you don't have to think that he's the best player, but just the dumb comments that people make is just insane. Jiminy Christmas. You blame LeBron for a play that he literally had nothing to do. Nothing to do with. But somehow it's his fault. It was him. Oh, my God. Tim Duncan was quiet. You didn't watch enough basketball if you think Tim Duncan was quiet. There isn't a guy that played or watched the NBA that'll tell you Tim Duncan constantly badmouthed officials, constantly complained and whined to officials, constantly. So if you say Tim Duncan was quiet, that's because you didn't watch enough basketball. They did, period, end of story. You just didn't watch enough NBA, which I'm not blaming you for. If you didn't watch enough NBA basketball, you just didn't watch enough NBA basketball. It is what it is. But then don't come on and make a comment and say and laugh and say Tim Duncan was quiet. That means you didn't watch basketball. So, no, you didn't. I mean, now you're saying you watch more than you, I bet. Okay. You don't know me or anything about me, but clearly you didn't if that's what you think about Tim Duncan. So, we got you. We got you, my man. The people in here, they know. They know. And you know. You know too. But it is what it is. We know. I don't have to know you. I know that if you said Tim Duncan was quiet, I know you don't know basketball and you didn't watch. You didn't watch enough basketball. I take that back. You probably know basketball, but you didn't watch. So that's what we know. We'll move on. That's what we know. We will move on. Let me ask y'all a question about Travis Kelce. Y'all think Travis Kelce is falling off? I think Travis Kelce may have fallen off. I think that's a good question. I think it's a good conversation. I think there's some validity to it that maybe age is starting to catch up. So, and that's a good point. That's a good point. He said, no, watch them playoffs. And you're right. When the playoffs get here, Travis Kelce turns it up a notch. He does. And maybe he's bored. That could be it too. You get to enough playoffs. You play enough football. Sometimes the regular season doesn't do it for you. Sometimes the regular season just doesn't do it for you. So maybe that's what he's doing. I don't know. But either way, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We'll see. It just seems that Travis Kelce may have fallen off. People over on TikTok are saying, hey, maybe the defenses are keying on him. Yeah, they are. But they always key on him. They always did. It's not like they didn't before. So my man Rob Johnson said Travis Kelce is too busy finding Taylor Swift's. Oh, I'm not going to say that. But either way, maybe. We'll just say he's too busy trying to find Taylor Swift. And that could be the truth. Maybe he's preoccupied. I don't know. Maybe he's got some other interests. I just know that he looks like he's slowing down a little bit. It looks like he might be slowing down a little bit. So we'll see. That's just my assessment right now. It seems that way. Boredom might be it. You're right, man. Like I said, boredom could be a big part of it. Just waiting for the playoffs. The problem is the Chiefs have given up home field advantage. So he's going to have to do it on the road. I think the Chiefs are going to have to do it on the road this year. There's still football left, and the Chiefs got an easy schedule. I just think he's going to have to do it on the road. So, and this could be a big question too. I think he's mentally handling the pressure different of being in the public eye. And that's the whole thing where Travis Kelce's been in the public eye before, but not like this. Not when you hang out with one of the 5 most popular people on the planet. Not when you're doing that. I mean, Travis Kelce was a big fish in a small pond in Kansas City. And even nationally, you could say Travis Kelce was a big fish. But when you start hanging out and your girlfriend is one of the 5 most popular people that walk on this earth, that's different. That's just different. So I'm not sure that he's really ready for all of that. But it doesn't, I mean, it's not that I just think he's slowing down a little bit. That's all. He may be slowing down a little bit. Man over on YouTube says it reminds you of Tony Romo with Jessica Simpson. A little bit, but Jessica Simpson wasn't the most popular people on the planet. But yeah, you're right. It reminds you a little bit of that. A little bit of that. And yes, Travis Kelce's in different circles that he would never be in. So that's not easy. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we will see. We will see. Let's move on here. Let's take a hard look at the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins right now are the number one seed in the AFC. They've lost to basically all the good teams that they have played. The Dolphins haven't beat anybody with a winning record. That's my only issue with the Dolphins. They haven't beaten anybody with a winning record. And look, I like the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are well coached. I think they have a good football team. But we just gave a ton of smoke to Dallas because Dallas hadn't beaten anybody above 500. We basically crucified the Cowboys and said, hey, man, you haven't beaten anybody over 500. You're not any good. I mean, that was the narrative, that the Cowboys were not good because they had not beaten anybody over 500. Why don't the Dolphins get that same smoke? And I'm just asking, why don't the Dolphins get that same smoke? And they don't. So they don't get the same smoke. Now, it's the Cowboys. So clearly the Cowboys are going to be different. But I'm just saying they do not get the same type of smoke that the Cowboys get. I think the Dolphins got a tough little road coming up here. So we'll see. We'll see. Man said on TikTok, because everyone wants to talk Dallas. True. But people could talk good about the Cowboys. They don't have to just talk negative about the Cowboys. But everybody was saying the same thing. They hadn't played anybody. They're not any good. They hadn't beaten anybody with the winning record. Well, so the Dolphins hadn't either. They haven't beaten anybody with a winning record. So everybody knows it was Seahawks versus the refs. That was tough. I mean, I'll give Dallas credit. They played good, but you can't tell me the refs weren't involved in that game, man. That was nuts. That was nuts. 19 penalties in the game. That was nuts. So we'll see. Big game coming up for both teams this week. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Yes, the NFL refs have been horrible. They have been horrible. So today, if I can make all of this work, we got our man, Hot Soup Fantasy Football, joining the chat, man. I know a lot of y'all got fantasy football questions that you want to throw up. So keep asking. I'm going to bring him into the chat, and let's get this thing going. Nope, can't do it that way. We'll see. Nope, can't do it that way either.
What's happening?
What's going on, man? I got you. We can hear you, but we can't see you. Let me do this. We can hear you, but we cannot see you. Nope, that's not it for sure. No, we don't want to do that. But we can hear you, man. What's going on? Absolutely. So, fantasy football. Let's chit chat a little bit. So, let's talk this past week. Quarterbacks seem to be going down left and right, man. They seem to be getting hurt left and right. There's people over here that are talking about. They were asking questions about Trevor Lawrence. Let's get to Trevor Lawrence first. The first thing about Trevor Lawrence, man, is if how is his fantasy value before the injury? Because I don't know that he's going to come back for a few weeks, Soup.
He did they say it's the lowest, highest ankles. It's the lowest high ankle sprain that you can get, meaning it's still a high ankle sprain, but it's low. So I may be able to push through it. But not being able to plant, that's how you throw the ball, right? If he
Right.
gets rushed, he's gonna be getting sacked. It's not gonna work, man. He's gonna need at least 2 weeks, in my opinion, at least 2 weeks to recover. So I mean, Beathard, he wasn't bad. He wasn't bad at all. But at the same time, he's not anywhere near the status of Lawrence. So they're hurting. They're hurting. They're gonna have to lean on the run game. And I think Evan Ingram, obviously, if y'all didn't see, Evan Ingram had the best game of
Yep.
his year, and that's because he's gonna be getting a lot peppered with targets from
Gotcha.
Beathard. So
Absolutely.
if you got Evan Ingram, man, congratulations.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Got a lot of people on TikTok that are asking about Purdy. What value does Purdy have? I think Purdy's got a high value. Not everybody's
Man,
back.
now
I think
everybody's
Purdy's
talking
got a
about
high
Purdy. Oh,
value.
Hot Soup been talking about Purdy all year. Now they talking about Purdy, huh? Yeah, it was
They
in my top
are.
5 starts last week. Back in my top 5 starts this week. Brought number 1. He's going against Seattle this week. 18th, ranked 18th against the quarterback. My fearless forecast for Purdy will be 292 through the air, 3 TDs. I actually called the 4 TDs last week as well.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So we talking Purdy is Purdy, and this is a question on TikTok. If it's between Purdy and Dak, who are you taking this week anyway?
Man, I'm taking Purdy. They're better. Look, y'all, they're gonna be mad when I say it. San Francisco's the best team in the NFL.
I mean, I don't know about anybody can be mad about that.
Everybody's gonna be, hey, look, check it out. You got CMC, right, up for MVP. You
Yep.
got Ayuk, who is a number 1 receiver on anybody's team if you take him there, right? And then you got Deebo Samuel, who is the gadget man, who can, he can run routes. He
Right.
knows the full routes. He can be a running back. He showed us in years before. He's just an animal, man. You got Kittle, George Kittle. If you want to turn your blocking tight end into a catching tight end, he can be top 3 any given week, right? So
Right.
not only and Purdy is accurate.
Yes, he
So
is.
they just got and their defense is good. So they're gonna be turning people over. He's gonna be getting the ball more. Listen, man, they're the best team in the NFL. They proved it smacking the Eagles last weekend. Hey,
Yes.
look, man, anything in San Francisco, like I've been saying, started.
Gotcha. Let me look over here. What about Jake Browning? Does Jake Browning have any value? Jake Browning looked good on Monday night, Hot Soup. He looked good.
How much have defenses seen him? They haven't, right?
They haven't.
It's gonna take a little bit to game plan, take a week or two. He might get hot. I don't put all my eggs in that basket. I may start him if I need him, in a league. If you heard what I said, if I need him. Otherwise, I'm taking the quarterbacks I started. Now, if you're in a situation where you got a bye week, there are some bye weeks this week, as well as, a situation where you got a quarterback that got hurt, because there's a lot of them. Hey, man, I mean, he's not a bad start. He could blow
Right.
up. He could throw, 3 touchdowns for you and be a top 10 quarterback this week.
Gotcha. So it's Nico Collins.
Yeah.
People got to give him, especially with Tank Dell being out for the year.
Listen,
You got to get Nico in your lineup.
Everybody already had him in their lineup. You're not stupid. He's got CJ Stroud throwing to him. CJ Stroud can go for 350 yards any given time. And just because Tank Dell goes out, that just means next man up, and that's going to be Brown. And I've been telling people, man, go get Noah Brown. Go get Noah Brown. He's on 50% waiver wires right now. Every waiver wire I saw him on, I went and picked him up. I mean, it's not like he didn't have 2 games of 150 plus yards, touchdowns. Like, he showed that he could be that guy, right? So you got Nico Collins on one side, Schultz gets healthy, and then you got Singletary and it looks like they're going to be handing the ball off to Pierce a little bit more, but he's not getting the average he's not getting the yards per carry that Devin Singletary is. And Devin Singletary is used way more in the passing offense. So for those of you who had Devin Singletary playing and he had a bad game, still start him.
I got it. And now somebody asked about Pierce or Singletary. I'm like, I don't think that's a conversation we need to have anymore, is it?
No, man, he's the better running back.
Yeah.
Damian Pierce had 15 rushes last game, 2.2 average, 2.2 yards average. Yeah, the guy, he didn't earn his work.
He did not, and that was why I just think you got to move on at this point. You just got to move on. Running backs this week, man. Top 5 running backs, or let's not do 5. Let's do 3. Top 3 running backs that we got to get in this week in your lineups.
I mean, so we all could go and say, hey, man, let's start. The main your main guys that everybody starts, right? But everybody's going to start them anyway. So we want to talk about those guys, in my opinion, that are on the bench. And they're on most people's benches, but they have a great matchup and would be a great play for somebody if needed. Like everybody's going to start Christian McCaffrey, everybody's going to start Saquon Barkley, Alvin Kamara, right? So let's start getting down to those guys that can have great games. I am starting this week Ezekiel Elliott, and he goes deep. I'm talking about deep. And check this out. They're playing against Pittsburgh, right? Small hands is out. Am I correct?
He is.
Small hands is out, right? So this is going to be a more Bill Belichick type game where they're going to try to control the game with running the ball. I believe that Pittsburgh is going to try to do the same. They're going to try to control the game by running. This is going to be a run game. It's not going to be a passing through the air game. It's going to be a run game. Control the ball. And I think Ezekiel Elliott, no more Ramondre Stevenson right now. I have him forecasted for 24 total touches. He's fresh. He hasn't been getting the rock a lot, but when he has been doing is averaging 4.5 yards per carry.
Right.
You give him 24 touches, he's going over 100 yards. I see him getting into the end zone twice this week. He's my biggest sleeper of the week, Ezekiel Elliott. I went and picked up him like 5 of my leagues, and I'm starting him with confidence. Another guy, Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon's going against Indianapolis, who's ranked 28th against the running back right now. I think Joe Mixon's going to get another 20-plus touches like he has been. He's been working a lot more since Burrow got hurt. He's been getting a lot more work in the pass game. They've been dumping off to him. He had a nice little couple catch runs this last weekend. And I think that he's going to go off for about 18 points in fantasy football this week, standard scoring.
I got you. Yeah, I don't know about Zeke though, man. I'm just not sure about the Zeke play. The Steelers, I feel like the Steelers, after that horrible game where they got embarrassed by the Cardinals, I feel like this is a bounce back game for that defense. I feel like because if they're going to win, they're going to need the defense to do something.
Who else are they going to hand the ball to? He's going to be a 3-down back. Ezekiel Elliott will be a 3-down back this week. Watch what I say.
All right. I got you. Here's somebody that we haven't talked about all year. He's a running back. He's this actual starting running back on a football team. He's been getting more carries since they changed offensive coordinators. James Cook. Think about getting James Cook in your lineup.
James Cook this week is, let me see here, is playing Kansas City.
Yeah.
Pretty tough run defense. They're in the top tier run. I think I want to say 10th overall or 11th overall against the run. However, I think that Buffalo will spread the ball around through the pass game, but I think that Cook gets a lot of that out the backfield as well as touches. I see 20-plus touches. He really don't have nobody spelling him out. Latavius Murray every now and then, but he is the most explosive back. He's a big play threat, so could have 2-3 catches or 2-3 carries where he goes for 20 yards on each one. So you're already at 60 yards off 3 carries, so meaning that he has a high potential, high floor right now for this game coming up this weekend. So I like some Cook.
I got you. Somebody on TikTok is asking about Rashad or Swift this week.
Rashad. Oh, I'm benching Rashad this week. Rashad White's going against Atlanta. They're ranked second against the running back. I was forecasting 16 touches for about 70 yards. He will get some receiving work, but they be shutting that run down. I see that Baker Mayfield going back to work through the air this week. He got shut down last week, and that game's going to be more of a pass game for Tampa. So I would take the other. Who was the other guy? Rashad White.
Swift.
Man, that's tough, man. Swift, I'm down on Swift right now, and I got him.
Down on Swift,
I'm
man.
down on Swift, man. He's
Yeah.
just, he's not a 3-down back. Okay, let's throw that out there. And he was getting 3-down work for them first couple games, which he was looking good. He was explosive, but the holes aren't opening up like they was. And in my opinion, this is what I think about that. I think that Philly lets people bomb them every single game. Their secondary is terrible, and they gotta stay throwing the ball. Period.
Right.
Like, so Swift, he might get more usage in the pass game than he is in the run game. I just haven't seen it, and that's been in the past like 5-6 games. It's been crazy.
Yeah.
So man, I don't even know what to tell you on that pick, man. I'm sorry for you.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's just, it's weird because like you said, Swift was getting a lot, but they just don't run it like that anymore.
I think Rashad White gets more volume. Put it that way. So he has a higher floor. Rashad White has the higher floor out of those two. Hopefully that helps you out, brother.
Now, somebody's asking, this goes against, or last week it went against your better judgment with Kyren Williams. You always say 2 weeks, you got to come back. Kyren Williams has been blowing up. I think he's got to be in your lineup every week from here on out.
Yeah, that's a must start. That's a no-brainer. That's like top five start.
Got to get in the lineup. And came out of nowhere, too.
Top 5 start. And when I do top 5 starts, just to let all the fans know, man, I don't put in guys that are top 5 starts. I put in guys that are ranked 21 or 23, but I see a good matchup, and I'm like, man, this is a guy you want to get in there, So right. I start thinking about game flow and stuff like that.
Gotcha. So let's switch it over to wide receivers. Give us 3 receivers. Again, not the top guys. Everybody knows who the top guys are. Exactly. Who are 3 receivers that people gotta put in their lineup this week that, like you say, might be on their bench?
Bro, Courtland Sutton.
Yeah.
9 touchdowns in the last 12 games.
Yeah.
That means 75% chance he's gonna score this week. And it gets even greater because Courtland Sutton's going against the Chargers, who are ranked 30th in the NFL against the receiver. Right. That's just absolutely horrible. And I think that Justin Herbert, he comes out of shell, man, and throws out an air show against Denver's defense. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, man, I think that's going to be a high-scoring game. A lot of people like, no, I don't think that, Denver's defense is getting better and this. Nah, man. Herbert, he has a plan. He's going to carve their ass up. Oh, excuse my language. He's going to carve them up. And, yeah, man, Courtland Sutton is one guy that I would have in my lineups this week if I were fantasy owners.
That's the thing. I've had Courtland Sutton all year, and I've had him on my bench behind guys all year. But I got CD and I got Tyreek. So it's hard to get.
You're not benching them. You're not benching those guys.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard to get him in there, but I think I might flex him this week.
Man,
I might flex him this week.
75% chance, B, he gonna get in that. The numbers don't lie.
They don't.
He gets a lot of red zone targets. Matter of fact, before the year started, I was telling everybody Courtland Sutton was like top 3 in targets. He wasn't getting the actual red zone targets. He wasn't actually catching them, but he was getting the targets. And that just means they're going to be better days, right?
Absolutely.
Which also means that I'm going to score 9 touchdowns in the last 12 games.
Absolutely.
There it is.
Somebody over here is talking about Sutton because he's his favorite target now. Jerry Jeudy is absolutely just falling off the face of the earth.
That's T. Higgins.
Yeah. T. Higgins is the same way, just falling off the face of the earth.
Man. Yeah.
It's terrible. Yeah. Does DK Metcalf stay hot? Does he stay hot?
DK Metcalf going against San Francisco secondary. That's where San Francisco's suspect. They secondary. They're. I want to say they are ranked 24th or 23rd. 24th or 23rd against the receiver. That's going to be obviously a high scoring game. Right. You guys, obviously we just talked about it. San Fran's going to put up a lot of points. Geno's going to have to do what he did last week, try to put up a lot of points with it. And DK Metcalf is the best receiver in the offense, man. And he showed that. Catch that man on a slant. You see what he did. They should be targeting him more, in my opinion. He's the more
Right.
physical receiver. He can take the beating. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
why not give him the most targets?
Gotcha. Let me
He don't even
TikTok had
take beatings, man. He gives them.
You're right. He gives
He
them.
does. He gives them.
But he disappears because he ain't the best route runner. So I think that's a little bit of his problem right there. But I like DK. I
Hey,
like DK.
you got a game plan for him. What are his strengths? Let's use his strengths. Let's not go to the
Exactly.
weaknesses, the route running. Have his ass run a stop and go get that ball.
Gotcha. Somebody had a good question over here on TikTok. I'm going to see if I can find it. The screen went too fast on me. It was Nico Collins or Michael Pittman.
At this point, I still got to go Nico Collins. Nico
Okay.
Collins scores more touchdowns. Now, hold on. The matchup. Nico Collins has a terrible matchup this week, but he's a must start. Tank Dell is out. Nico Collins must start, lock and loaded. I have Nico Collins, and I have in plenty leagues, and I also have Michael Pittman. If I had that choice, I'm taking Nico Collins this week.
Gotcha.
I
Now,
don't care about the matchup.
Pittman's playing against the Bengals. You know, the Bengals secondary. People can throw that football against them.
No. Definitely. Pittman has the better matchup. He has a higher PPR floor as well, meaning he's getting more targets. Pittman has 16 targets last week. Like,
Yeah,
he's getting the targets, 11 catches, but he's not getting in the end zone like Nico Collins. Nico Collins is getting in that end zone.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a tough one.
We could say in a PPR league, who has the highest floor? Michael Pittman all day. Who has the highest ceiling? Nico Collins all day. There it is. What you playing for? Are you playing to win? Or are you playing just to try to get through this fantasy playoffs coming up? You're either in or you're not.
I was just gonna say, Soup, fantasy playoff. This is last week.
Yes, sir.
This is the last week, and then you get into the playoff. Is there anything? And before I get you out of here, man, and I appreciate you joining us. Is there anything that people should be doing to shore up a roster? Grabbing a defense,
Grab a defense,
maybe grabbing one of those solid kickers and keeping them, on their roster. Is there anything people need to be doing right now?
Go to the defenses, look at the matchups for the playoff slate, week 15, 16, and 17.
Gotcha.
That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say, man. Y'all do your homework.
Gotcha. See, because what I did, I played sneaky, and I got the Browns early, and somebody got rid of the Dolphins. And I'm like, the Dolphins defense isn't horrible, and Jalen Ramsey's going to be back.
It's
and
good.
Sure enough, when he came back, the Dolphins defense took off. Mm-hmm. And now I have both of them, and people were trying to trade me. I'm like, you're going to have to trade me a lot for me to come out, because they're literally, both of them are scoring like 12, 15 points a week.
Yeah.
I'm like, so,
that's important. That's important to have. That's important to have, man, when it's crunch time.
Yeah.
Right? Start looking at your matchups. When I go into playoffs, I look at all 3 weeks before I even start week 1. Where am I going to need some help at the next week? Who's they facing? Oh man, I don't like this matchup. I like this matchup. Oh, look at this guy. I can get this guy off the waiver wire right here and start him in week 16 when this guy right here is playing the worst, the best secondary in the league. So that's how I think, man. I plan ahead. Definitely.
I got you. We got another question here, man. Laporta or Hawkinson?
Laporta.
Because Hawkinson, look, I think the Dobbs effect is all but over.
Laporta.
Gotcha. Yeah. Laporta's that guy.
Better quarterback, man.
Better quarterback.
Hey, Laporta, Laporta's a better down the field option. He's young, he's fresh, he's ready, bro.
Yeah. Yeah,
they can't key on Laporta, man. They can't key on him. You got to worry about David Montgomery. You got to worry about Jahmyr Gibbs. You got to worry about Amon-Ra. Like, it's too much to worry about over. They can't key on just him like they can on Kelce or other tight ends that there's nothing else going around them.
Let me ask you this, Soup. Amon-Ra, our man St. Brown. I think he's one of the most underrated receivers in the league. Easy. I also think he's one of the most underrated receivers in fantasy football as well.
He is. He, you know what? He does everything very well at a high level. Everything. You name it, catching the, but he has hands, route running. Like he has ability to get open, create separation. He's smart. Like I mean, he's the perfect receiver.
And they go to him in the red zone.
Yeah. He's also a workout monster.
Yes.
Workout monster.
So I like him. One more question I'm going to ask about your hometown Chicago Bears wide receiver DJ Moore.
Get him in your lineups.
I was just going
Get
to
him in
say,
your
do we
lineup.
need to
Sweet
get him in your
matchup this week.
lineup?
Sweet matchup this week. I got him starting in both the leagues I got him in. Wish I'd
Got
have got him in more. Yeah, that's Justin Fields' baby.
Got it.
Justin Fields isn't that dude, but when he's throwing to DJ Moore, he's making sure DJ Moore get that rock. So
Got it.
yeah, get him in your lineups.
I appreciate it, man. Well, thank you for joining us today, man. As always, tell everybody where we can find you, brother.
Find me on TikTok. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You can go on there, like and subscribe. Again, you can always comment in the comment section, ask me some questions, man. Inbox me, and I'll have those answers to you within 24 hours. No problem.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time to join us, man. I will holler at you soon next week.
All right, brother. See you soon.
All right, man. I'll see you.
All right, buddy.
That was our guy, Hot Soup Fantasy Football. Y'all know how he does it. 30 leagues. The man's in 30 leagues. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Been doing it for like 15 years, man. 15 years. Diggs or Jefferson? I mean, Jefferson's not playing, so I don't think that's a question. So, at least I don't think he's playing. But if he comes back, I still say Diggs. I just don't trust Josh Dobbs anymore. I don't trust Dobbs. So, I don't trust Dobbs. Okay, yeah. I think Dobbs is – I like the story. I like that story, but I think he's finished. Things are going good, my man James Richards. We are going good. So, what do I think about Jameson Williams? Little immature, but I think he can be if the Lions can control his maturity level, the Lions are trouble. I'm just telling you. If they can get his maturity level under control, the Lions' offense is trouble. Their offense is already good. But if he can be more mature, they're going to be incredible. So, we'll see. By the way, keep tapping the screen. TikTok, keep tapping that screen. I appreciate you guys, man. And appreciate everybody on YouTube as well. TikTok, need to keep going. Need 6,000 likes and 30 follows. We need about 21 more follows, actually. So if you happen to be in here and you're not following, please give us a follow. And if you're over on YouTube and you're watching and you're not subscribed, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. We appreciate it, man. So, yeah, fantasy football playoffs are right around the corner. Last week to get in. This is your last week to get in. So, do you think Mike will be back to coach Sunday due to surgery? I mean, it was for his appendix, right? I mean, if that's the case, I can't remember, but I think it's his appendix. It's tough to come back, depending on when that surgery was. It's tough to just come back. Like, if he had it on Monday, I would say no. But I don't know. The appendix surgery, it's just a matter of how you can recover. But, if it's this morning, I think the answer is absolutely not. So, that doesn't mean he won't. Don't get me wrong. But, man, you have appendix surgery. I mean, he's not a spring chicken. So, you don't just bounce back like you used to from that kind of stuff. I don't know. I would say for his own health, he should sit this one out. But it's the biggest game of the season. I mean, it's literally the biggest game of the season for the Cowboys. So, and that's a good question or a good statement, James Richards over here on TikTok. My man James is tuned in. He says, you better come back because if Dan Quinn shows out as a coach, then he's going to be done in Dallas. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. So you are not wrong. But we'll see what happens, man. We will see what happens. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. Somebody said Michigan 52, Alabama 7. There ain't no way. First of all, Michigan can't score 52 points. That's number one. And they ain't beating Alabama 52-7. You know that. You know that. Is it me or I think Alabama wins the game? I think Alabama actually wins the game. Yeah, buddy. I think Alabama wins too, Chuck. I do. And all that mess about people talking about how they shouldn't be in. And I mean, I've moved on. Like I said my piece for 2-3 days. I said my piece. I don't feel sorry for Florida State. It literally happened to me, the same thing 25 years ago. Nobody felt sorry for us. It sucks, but it is what it is. It's business. Having said that, I think Bama wins. 31-21 Bama. That sounds like more like it. Although getting 31 against Michigan's defense, that might be tough. It might be tough. So, can the Rams make the playoffs? Yeah, they can. If the playoffs ended today, the Rams are in it. So, yeah, they can make it. Or they're right on the outside. No, the Rams are in. Let me look this up. I'm pretty sure the Rams are in as of right now. Because I know there's 3 that the Vikings and obviously the Lions, but the Vikings. Let me just look it up. Let's look up and see what we got. But yeah, man, I think the Rams could make it. I think the Rams are like right on the outside looking in. Right on the outside looking in. Yeah, they're 8. Tied with Green Bay, but they lose the tiebreaker. So they're right there. So they can make it. Vikings and Green Bay are in the wild card along with the Cowboys. How many people think the Cowboys, and I'm going to say this quietly because people are going to be mad at me. I think the Cowboys beat the Eagles on Sunday. I think the Cowboys beat the Eagles on Sunday. I do. I think the Eagles got off to that hot start. They won a bunch of close games. And I'm not saying the Eagles aren't a good football team. I just think the Cowboys are going to beat them. I think the Cowboys are going to beat them. You know, I think San Francisco may have taken a little bit out of the Eagles. They may have taken a big chunk out of the Eagles. Like they took a big chunk out of Dallas. But that was, 6 weeks ago? 7 weeks ago? It was a long time ago. I think the 49ers may have taken a little manhood out of the Eagles, taking a big chunk. So we'll see. So, The Seahawks are not going to beat the 49ers this weekend. The Seahawks had their chance. What was that, Thanksgiving? Thursday night, and they got obliterated. That was their shot to win at home. Now they're going on the road. They're not winning on the road. They're not winning on the road. So, they're not winning on the road. Yeah, David Carr said to sit Hurts because he's been hurt. That's just stupid. I mean, it's one thing to be on TV and to have a take but to have that kind of a horrible hot take, he should be fired. He should be fired for saying something like that. The bosses should come to him and be like, bro, look, we got to have some credibility to the show. We can't have you saying stuff like this, saying that Marcus Mariota is a better quarterback right now than Jalen Hurts. We got to have some credibility. You got to go. And I think networks should do that more often. You're looking for a hot take, looking for people to get. I get all of that. But when you say something so outlandish, that'll turn people away and they won't even watch your show because they'll think it's a joke. Ugh. Cowboys to the bowl. I mean, I picked the Cowboys. I picked the Cowboys to make it to the Super Bowl this year. They still got a chance. I think my AFC pick is going to go by the wayside because I picked the Chargers. Ugh. Chargers ain't even going to make the playoffs. The Chargers are not going to make the playoffs. Obviously, there's still a chance, but they got a long way to go. They got a long way to go. So, Dallas Ravens in the Super Bowl. That's not horrible. That's not horrible. We were talking about Miami earlier. I like Miami, but Miami still hasn't beaten anybody any good. They still haven't. Nobody with the winning record. That same smoke that everybody was given to the Cowboys for not beating anybody with the winning record, the Dolphins got to start standing on that too. So, well, we're going to shut this one down for today, people. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody that was in here, man. We appreciate everything. If you're on TikTok, give me a follow. If you're not already following, if you're on YouTube, please subscribe. We appreciate it if you haven't subscribed already. And if you're on TikTok and you are following, click that link, man. Click that YouTube link and come subscribe over to YouTube at Big B Sports Talk. We appreciate everybody. We'll be live streaming the game tomorrow. I don't know how good the game is going to be. The Steelers and the Patriots. My Steelers stink, but whatever the case may be, we're going to be live streaming. But come back earlier. Big B Daily Show will be on at 4 Central Time tomorrow, man. I will holler at you guys tomorrow. And aloha.